This is UK Track Talk, and in the week of the St Leger Festival, let's have a look what's happening on the programme today. Off this final turn, not too wide, you want to be inside middle position right now to get off this final turn to get a straight run to the line. I say straight run, there's a camber, it moves in a lot. Let's take a look. The final 600 metres of this Epsom track is quite phenomenal. So here we are, 3 furlongs to go, 600 metres, and you're in the straight. It is straight, but it's not flat by any means. Avoid moving down off that camber, trying not to get too close to that rail because you know a tired horse is going to just lean in towards it, and it's going to be tough in the final couple of furlongs, but we're almost there, almost at the winning line. It's straight, but it's certainly not flat. And finally, we've made it. 1.5 miles, almost 2,500 metres, and we're here at the winning line. Hopefully out in front, because just behind the winner's enclosure, a very small and a very elite and unique winner's enclosure, is the dream of every owner as a filly to win the Oaks and a colt to win the Derby. After all the climbs, the drops, the turns, the camber, the positioning, the jockey has to get the horse here on the winning line first at the right time after 1.5 miles. A fantastic race, and this is the brilliantly unique Epsom racecourse. Sports is often enjoyed most when there's a battle, a rivalry for those to become number one. Prost and Senna in Formula One, McEnroe and Borg in tennis, and in football, Ronaldo and Messi. But sometimes sports can be dominated by a hero who's clearly head and shoulders above the rest. Football had the likes of Pele, Best and Maradona. In boxing it was Muhammad Ali, and in racing there was Frankel.
Frankel with Sopony coming hard, and he's going to get close. Frankel from Sopony, but Frankel's unbeaten record is intact.
It's going to be 11 from 11 here. The champion of the world, Frankel in majestic form by 8 or 9 in the Queen Anne. Brilliant performance.
Frankel extends. Cirrus de Ziegler is a worthy adversary, but up towards the line. All comers, all grounds, all beaten. Frankel won the Champion Stakes and lives up to the title.
Born in February 2008, Frankel possessed a great pedigree. His sire, Galileo, had won the English Derby over 1.5 miles, whilst his mother, Kind, had won her races up to 7 furlongs. With such high-flying parents, his debut was eagerly anticipated, and Frankel was keen not to disappoint.
I think the sort of debut, I think that was almost the most exciting bit because it unwrapped all his potential.
The problem with him is he's so public that you have to be very careful that the daily bulletins and it's sort of rather seen that nobody totally believes us what we're saying, but we can only tell it as we see it, and luckily we got to Ascot because I think half the world didn't even think he still existed. And we were happy with Ascot. I think we tried to explain what we were actually having to do there then. I was well aware he still hadn't got anywhere near to the sprinter of old of 2 years ago, when he was categorically unbeatable. And there was actually, we'd always got really wound up about it, and they were great days, but if you look back at it, he wasn't beatable. He was everything there was, and nobody's pretending he's got back to that yet. He hasn't, and he probably won't.
I still am very enthusiastic about English racing, and to me it was an eye-opener and a revelation, and I was very privileged to work for Henry.
And Vincent O'Brien, he must have shown you a different way of training in those days.
That was early, and I was much younger. I think I was about 16.
And whenever somebody got very high and mighty and holier than thou, was pontificating. My stepfather, who'd been a lawyer, he was part of the Nuremberg trials and had played a significant part in the short cross handling of that. And stepfather used to say, the moral high ground, Mark, has seldom been occupied by anyone with any qualification to be there whatsoever. So I think whenever you hear someone taking a rather high moral standpoint, I can hear this little voice in the back.
Great stories, great anecdotes. You've been a wonderful host, and thank you very much for spending some time with you today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much. Enjoyed having you. Thank you.
Thanks.